The bill is passed. The motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
The House has passed a bill to increase stimulus checks to $2,000. We're updating you on the fate of the bill, plus everything you need to know about getting your stimulus check within a matter of days. Plus, a record number of coronavirus hospitalizations have been recorded in the Spokane metro area.
We had a sobering statistic this morning.
We'll hear more from the chief nursing officer at Sacred Heart Medical Center about what this means for the months ahead. And a campaign to collect menstruation products may not seem like a controversial issue, but a Coeur d'Alene restaurant is responding to backlash for working with the Satanic Temple, Idaho for that fundraiser.
And there are winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories just issued ahead of tomorrow's snowstorm. And I'm tracking not only when it's going to start snowing, but how much we'll see by the end of the day.
Up with KREM begins now.
Well, thank you for joining us here on Up with KREM on your chilly Tuesday morning. I think every time this video pops up, there's a slight gasp for Thomas and I, because it's sure to make you crave a cup of hot cocoa. This family went viral on TikTok for this, which is it's a hot chocolate bomb. Did they just break it?
Look, I mean, it's filled with all the marshmallows and the cocoa powder. Man.
Easily one of the biggest we've ever seen. It takes more than a full TikTok to actually make it melt. We've seen these all winter, and a couple months ago we caught up with a baker who actually makes them herself. Today we're going to look back on that as one of our favorite stories from this year. Tom, I can't even talk, Thomas.
Usually they're only like, what, that big? You just drop them in your
Look
glass or your mug. Yeah, that's a whole vat of just milk and now hot chocolate. Yeah, I think that's enough to share with the whole family.
You're going to have to do weather. I cannot talk. This is just wild.
There have been promises about getting some hot chocolate around here for tomorrow, and we will need it because we got quite a bit of snow that'll be falling throughout the day for tomorrow as well. Check out the alerts for the region. This all kicks in by tomorrow morning, 1 a.m. tomorrow morning to be precise. Winter storm warnings for northeastern Washington, winter storm warnings for far north Idaho as well. So that's Colville, Chewelah, Sandpoint, Spirit Lake, Bonners Ferry, all the way to Deer Park at its far south point. Winter weather advisories for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. So a good chunk of snow is heading our way. Plenty of moisture with this storm system. You can see it in the cloud cover building in from the Pacific Ocean. So that will be hitting our area just under 24 hours from now, maybe about 18 hours or so. So our snow impacts kind of in the high category now for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and of course areas to the north where we have those winter storm warnings. So the snow that's going to be falling in the morning hours is going to make for a very slow commute. So that's the bottom line, regardless of if we just get 2 inches of snow or 8 inches of snow, depending on where you live. A little bit of a freezing mist out there this morning, so some side roads are still a bit icy. You'll need a couple extra minutes to scrape the ice off the windshields of your car. I certainly had to do that at 3 o'clock this morning, so apologies if it was a little bit too loud for my neighbors out there. But it's just going to be a cloudy day overall, highs in the low 30s with that snow starting to fall late tonight, early tomorrow morning. We'll go hour by hour to show you when those heaviest snow hours will be and city by city to how much snow you can expect.
Taking a live look now at Capitol Hill this morning as lawmakers have been busy trying to pass new legislation before the end of the year. COVID-19 has now claimed more than 334,000 lives in the United States. That is 1 out of every 1,000 Americans. But relief is on the way for millions of Americans today. The House has passed a bill that would increase the coronavirus relief checks from $600 to $2,000. That matches what President Trump previously demanded. But the measure now moves to the Senate, where its fate is uncertain.
I am telling Donald Trump, don't just talk about it, act. These Senate Republicans have followed you through thick and thin. Get them now to act and support the $2,000 checks.
It is not clear as of this morning if the Senate will take up the measure. The Senate could vote on the new bill as early as today, but those $2,000 stimulus checks would inflate the total COVID relief bill to more than $1 trillion. Many Senate Republicans have expressed concern about increasing spending. Meanwhile, the Treasury Department is already scrambling to distribute the relief that's been approved, and the first payments could start going out by the end of this week. Now here's how our local lawmakers voted on the House bill last night. Washington Representative Kathy McMorris Rogers voted against the measure. Idaho Representatives Russ Fulcher and Mike Simpson also voted no. The measure passed with a vote of 275 to 134. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives also voted last night to override President Donald Trump's veto of the National Defense Authorization Act. That vote was 322 to 87. The bill includes a requirement to remove Confederate names from military bases within 3 years, and it excludes a repeal of a tech liability shield. Well, there's still a lot we don't know about what will happen next if the Senate does not approve the increase of stimulus checks. But we do know a little bit about the $600 that had been promised in the original relief bill.
The number one question, when will people see money in their bank accounts? The answer, we just don't know yet. Last week, the U.S. Treasury Secretary said direct payments could be sent out just days after the bill became law. Next, do you have to sign up to receive a stimulus check? No. If you file taxes in 2019 and you qualify, the IRS will use the information they have on file to deposit that money directly into your account. If the IRS doesn't have your banking information, it will send you a check in the mail. Who qualifies for another stimulus check? Well, if your 2019 reported income was $75,000 or less, you will be eligible for that one-time payment. That amount drops by $5 as your income goes up by $100. So, for example, people who made $75,100 will get $595. If you have a dependent who is under the age of 17, you'll get an additional $600 per child. If the dependent is older than 17, like a college student, you won't. And if you don't have a valid Social Security number, you are not eligible to get a payment.
And if you would like to get the latest news on these stimulus payments, on Washington's relief payments, or any other information about unemployment, you can text the word money to 509-448-2000 and we'll send it your way. Well, this week, the World Health Organization has announced that the mutation of the new coronavirus strain is normal and that more mutated viruses will be discovered in the future. Representatives say the UK and South Africa are seeing two separate virus variants emerge at the same time.
They're different. They both have the 501Y mutation, which is a mutation in the spike protein, but they're different viruses. They're different variants. They found no significant differences in hospital admissions and case fatality at 28 days and the occurrence of reinfections.
The likely scenario is the virus will become, as David Heyman said previously, another endemic virus. A virus that will remain somewhat of a threat, but a very low-level threat in the context of an effective global vaccination program.
Now, the first new coronavirus variant infections were detected in the UK, then followed by identified cases in South Africa, along with Japan, Canada, and South Korea. Meanwhile, a record number of people are in the hospital for COVID-19 in our region right now. Nicole Hernandez joins us live from Sacred Heart, where they're having staffing issues because of this increase in hospitalizations. Good morning, Nicole.
Yeah, good morning, Joshua. So there's a total of 232 people in the hospital right now that are needing treatment for COVID-19, and that is in both the Spokane area and the Coeur d'Alene area. So it's our entire kind of metro region that's in.
Eastern Washington seems to be getting that next wave. And as we deal with the post-Christmas challenges, I think January is going to be a very difficult month. And we're all going to need to pull together to be able to take care of the patients who got sick before there was a vaccine.
And this new wave of cases is causing staffing issues. Sacred Heart says that they have enough beds at this point, but the amount of people needed to take care of all the patients is putting a strain on staff. They're making it work for now, but the hospital is worried. They still need to take care of normal medical emergencies every day. Plus, they say with the snowy weather coming up, the amount of car accidents is going to go up as well. Now, for now, the hospitals say that they are handling it, but they are worried about a potential spike here coming up in January after the holidays. Live in Spokane, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
Coming up on 710 in just a few seconds here, an unlikely group is trending this morning. The Satanic Temple, Idaho, is holding a donation campaign to collect menstrual products in North Idaho through the end of this month. Now, according to the group's website, the campaign will make menstrual products available to all people in need, especially those who may not be able to afford them without assistance. The site lists a drop box location mostly in Boise and also in Idaho Falls, but there is a drop box located in Coeur d'Alene, in downtown Coeur d'Alene at the Crown and Thistle. The owner sent out a photo of just how many donations they've already received. Take a look at your screen, you can see there. But the pub has also received some backlash for associating with the group by allowing that collection bin. In a statement from the co-owner, Ben Drake, he says the pub is a safe, neutral place for beer, food, and the betterment of the community. Crown and Thistle agreed to put out a bin for the collection of menstrual products for people in need, calling it a worthy cause. He goes on to say, we would do the same for any worthy cause presented by our area because we are built by this community and we exist for this community. Now, for many people, efforts like this will help them a great deal during the pandemic. Earlier this year, Forbes reported that research from development and humanitarian organization Plan International has found that the COVID-19 pandemic is leaving people struggling to manage their periods. They surveyed health professionals in 30 countries, and 73% say restricted access to products through shortages or disrupted supply chains is a major issue. Now, this could be due to schools shutting down or public restrooms being less accessible. There's a number of circumstances, but you might remember about a month ago, Scotland became the first country in the world to provide free and universal access to period products. We told you right here on Up with KREM that Scottish lawmakers cited that the new law would have a massive impact on a person's hygiene, their health, and their well-being. They did estimate that people with periods spend about 14 to 50 euro, that's anywhere about $20 a month, on period products alone. Now, coming up, you might remember this story about hot chocolate bombs that raise money for charity.
I know their heart, and I know that they just want their children to be accepted because I just want mine.
Well, it's a story we can't forget about, and right here on Up with KREM, we have an update from the bakery that originally grabbed all of our attention. Plus, for the first time in 5 years, Washington will be raising its minimum wage, but not because of any voter-approved ballot measures. We'll tell you more about the increase, when it takes place, and why it's happening coming up.